Hello, my name is Mohan Vaswani, and I am the Science ISS for the Mid-Atlantic District. I'm centered out of Fort Bragg, and I work with all the teachers in the Mid-Atlantic District, including Quantico Middle High School. I just want to get this chance to say hello to you and to talk a little bit about the new curriculum that is here for the next generation science standards for the middle school. And so I have been coordinating with your child's guest teacher to make sure that they have the current curriculum map and lesson plans to go along with what everybody else is doing at all the other middle schools in the DODEA system. And I want to talk a little bit about how the next generation science standards are set up and how your science class will be different this year as we progress through the year than it has been in the past. So the big thing about the next generation science standards is that these standards have been adopted throughout schools in not only in all of DODEA, but also in other schools across the country outside the gate. So this is great for your students when they move to other schools. If they have this curriculum or these standards, that they'll be able to follow with them. The standards are basically broken up into what we call 3 dimensions. So the disciplinary core idea is the science concept that your student will be learning, and this is synonymous with the science concepts of old and the old standards that but basically they had a science concept, and it says you're going to be teaching, let's say, about energy as it is transferred through an ecosystem, let's say maybe, or energy and matter is transferred through an ecosystem, let's say, as maybe how a tree grows. But in addition to that, we're also going to have something called a science and engineering practice. The science and engineering practice is that intentionally at the same time, what's going to be taught might be, in this case, a science and engineering practice known as modeling. And this is where scientists and engineers make models so that way they can apply the science concept to something else to explain maybe another phenomena that exists in nature. And the third thing that your students, the dimension that your students will be learning about, is called a cross-cutting concept. In this case, it might be how energy and matter transfer through a system. So they'd be learning about a system and how there's energy transfers in and out, and how maybe the tree might be considered a system. So another way that this might be looked at, so let's say in a different grade level, might say, let's say if we're looking at a phenomena of a rollback can, where a can moves forward and comes backwards, and it has a rubber band as a wind-up in the middle, and as it rolls forward, the energy rolls into the rubber band as potential energy, and then it rolls back as kinetic energy. So the actual disciplinary core idea that we might be looking at is the types of energy, potential and kinetic energy, and the transfer of energy. The science and engineering practice that we'd be looking at is as the students then would draw a model of this can as it moves forward and backwards, or this toy. And what they would do is model it based on all of the different components that exist in a system, which is our third dimension that we'll be talking about, is how does energy flow within a system. And so again, it's cross-cutting concepts. There's like 8 of them, and those repeat throughout all the science disciplines, through all the grade levels, from K through 12 in the next generation science standards. As far as the science and engineering practices, there's 6 of them, and so, and again, that's going to be taught concurrently and intentionally with the cross-cutting concept, in addition to the disciplinary core idea, which is the science that they're learning at the moment. And you will also see that your students will be learning science and engineering, life sciences, physical sciences, and chemistry in each of their 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade years. And again, how it all relates to each other through those cross-cutting concepts. And this year, we are very excited to announce that we have a new curriculum to support these new next generation science standards. The curriculum comes from Hufflin Mifflin Harcourt, otherwise known as HMH, and they have rewrote the curriculum so that way it follows the next generation science standards, along with workbook / textbooks that we've provided for every student. We also have online access for every student, and we've also provided the class with lab materials to go along with all the hands-on activities. A big part of this curriculum is for students to work together to, and every day they should be doing this, or almost every day, that they would have hands-on activities that they incorporate in with their reading and with discussion with their peers in the class. So this provides your students the opportunity to discover science rather than just learning about science. And unlike the science activities of old that you and I might have went to when we went through school, is that these might have multiple paths or multiple solutions or multiple ways to do things. In the past, when I grew up learning science in school, in high school and middle school, we went through the book or through notes, and then we had hands-on activities that would reinforce what we learned. It wasn't important on whether or not if we got to the hands-on activity or not. It was just mainly supporting what we learned, giving us a chance to see it. And it had directions such as like a recipe, follow this, 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 and this, and then we were supposed to make a relation to the science concept if we were so fortunate. But now what is given is that there is no way for your students to go through the curriculum and the standards without doing the activities. The activities are the learning, and then the book, workbook, and digital resources help follow up or complement that activity that they're doing. So it's necessary that they do that activity. So I'm really excited about this. I've seen some great things. I'll be co-teaching with your teachers when I come up. I'll be coming up, I believe I'm coming in October, and I support your teachers throughout the year and have been in close contact. Again, my name is Mohan Vaswani, and I'm the Science ISS for the Mid-Atlantic District. And again, have a great year. Thank you.